Okay. All right. Good afternoon, guys. Today is April 12th, and this is the live FOMC trading. So we are trading news. Let's see. So this is the news event we are trading. FOMC meeting minutes. Let's see what we have. So the sell on US missed the sell on US 30. Ideally, what I'm looking for here, I mean, doesn't look like there's a lot of movement. But let's just see if we can find anything.
The movement start at 2:30. Remember?
No. Today's only meeting minutes. There's no 2:30 move because 2:30 used to be the conference. But for this,
Okay.
yeah, for this one, they don't have a conference at 2:30. So today, I just see continuation of the sell, but yeah, ideally there's really nothing happening. So I don't even know if there's anything. Yo, that GJ, I should have entered a small sell at that time. Let's see. But let's see how that's gonna go. Yes, so here I'm looking for the same thing, either a bullish candle or a bearish candle the first 5 minutes. And then I want to see a retracement, but I'm still bullish on this items. Because if you really think about it, right, this move right here, I think was to trap people one way. So, and all the way to the upside, we just have a lot of sell side liquidity. I think actually the only thing maybe I would want to trade is gold, because gold is the only one that's, even right now, gold doesn't have any of the markups we have. The EU trade, so EU came to break even. If anybody held that, maybe exited at break even, but EU trade is technically still running. Yeah, for this right now, honestly, I'm not really sure what to see. But I do see a lot of sell side. I have a lot of trend lines on US 30, keeping US 30 down. So in any case, I'm still bearish. I was bearish on the news previously. I don't see any reason for this to keep going up. The only thing that can happen, it might not be a spike to the upside. So I think whatever direction they choose to take, the market will just trend for the next day or two. Yeah, because FOMC is pretty much like dead. CPI was ideally dead as well, if you ask me, because we had spike to the upside, retracement to the downside, spike and consolidation back up to the or trend back up to the upside. So right now, whatever direction they choose to take, I think it will just be a trend for the rest of the evening and possibly for tomorrow. So yeah, at this point, I think even on this session, we'll just see how price is moving. Because even if we were to use our analysis, right, we normally look for the first 5-minute candle, wait for it to set direction. So in this case, this 5-minute candle is not even a strong candle. It's only 30 pips or so. And then we normally wait for a retracement, and then we continue to the upside. But the candle has to be a strong candle. But honestly, I am still bearish on this instrument. Yeah, so I'm not going to do anything with this candle. So this candle is only 821 to 864. This is only a 40 pip candle, so that's nothing for US 30, especially during heavy news. Yeah, I don't even think I'll enter into any other trade, to be honest. Yeah, this is just a dud. But I would be looking for a sell if we get a closure below this supply zone, within a supply zone. So remember the sell that we are waiting on this morning, right? We waited for this candle to break below the trend line. We wanted this candle to retest the trend line. However, when this candle broke below the trend line, this next candle did not retest the trend line. It just kept sinking to the downside. So to me, this is still a heavy area of sellers. Yeah, so I don't really see any trade. I think so. This is where we then probably need to look on the hourly time frame. Yeah, on the
You are
hourly.
still, you are still in the EU trade?
So for this yeah, the EU trade is still running. Yeah, it's still running unless you got out at break even. So the trade came back in profit, came back a little bit in break even, but that's the only trade that's still going. Other than that, yeah. US 30, give me 1 second, 836, 856. Yeah, there's a lot of, I can see there's a lot of sellers on US 30. But it is possible for this the worst thing that can happen, the reason I don't want to sell yet, I do see them trending to the upside. So keep in mind, right, I still expect US 30 to come to the 34,000 area, same as what I was expecting during CPI. So I think what they can try to do is push price up just in a trend. So maybe have candles that are moving 10 pips, 20 pips, until we get up to the 34,000 area, because ideally, if you think about it, that's the next psychological level for US 30, because US 30 is at 33,867. The next best level for US 30 to go to is 33,500 or 34,000. So based on where price is at right now, it's closer to 34,000 zone. Let's see, I will also look at this point, the next thing you can do is draw your trend lines. I will delete these trend lines from this morning and then draw new trend lines. So this higher high to this high low. Right now, we don't have a trend line to the downside. Let's see. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, so US 30, gold, and EU are pretty much bullish. Gold is the one that's highly bullish. US 30 and EU are just out of a 10, they're probably 6 or 7 out of 10 bullish. But just keep in mind, right? We got faked out during CPI. Price came down, came back up. During the live session, we missed our sell here because we did not get a retest of the trend line. However, price did break down heavily. So for me, for any sell, I'm looking for this zone, 33,819. We have to have a strong bullish candle that comes down and closes below here. Other than that, they are going to the next psychological level, which is 34,000. Yeah, so gold, in any case, gold is the one that's heavily bullish. EU is not as bullish as gold. Out of a 10, I would say EU is about 7 out of 10 bullish level. Okay, so there goes that. We need a good strong candle for US 30 that closes below the 9 EMA and closes around the, and I think we got also a sell signal. All right, so I'm observing how this candle will close. Excuse me. This candle close below the 9 EMA. I need this candle to retest the 9 EMA and close below for any particular sell. So keep in mind, for any sell, I'm looking for the sell around this area where price currently is. If not, if we have closure above this trend line, I'm looking for US 30 to go to the next psychological level, which is 34,000 area, which is actually where we have more sellers at. So this candle needs to retest the 9 EMA and close below, and ideally close around this zone. So if it just closes, even though it closes below the 9 EMA and just closes above this supply zone, that wouldn't be a sell. So keep in mind, we need this candle to close in here because it's going to activate these sellers that are already in this zone. So long as, even though it closes below the 9 EMA and closes above the supply level, there's no need to hop onto that sell. I would want this candle to close around this zone so that it can trigger those sellers that are here. $8.15. The wick is about 20 pips. Another best case scenario would be this candle to keep dropping and then reverse back and give us a bullish hammer candle. In that case, I would say, yes, a buy would be sufficient. Yep, and that's why you want to wait for the closure of the candle. So gold is the only instrument that's heavily bullish. Other than that, US 30 and EU are pretty much trending. I think EU is squeezing, right? You can see all these candles, they don't even have a lot of liquidity. So it can either, I do see it having a spike to the upside here, but US 30, US 30 is also reversing to the upside. Gold just did a golden cross right here. We could have entered on the retest of the 9 EMA. That's fine. We'll just wait for what we have here. Yeah, and that's why you always want to wait for closure of the candle. And this right here is an established trend line. If we close above that trend line, they can use this trend. So if we close above the trend line and then the next candle retest the trend line and closes above, I would say at that point, we can then look for a buy. But we always want for whatever candles we are trading to close and not hopping on impulse. So for those of you, if you're still, so the EU trade had come back to break even. If you're still holding it, it's still in drawdown. That's if you held and did not exit after. So keep in mind, for any trades that I take, I don't like holding trades, but if it hits stop loss, I'll definitely count it as a losing trade. But going forward in future, I don't like holding trades past 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. I'll take those off for now. Here goes US 30. Right, so keep in mind, this is an established trend line, so we do expect some rejection at the very least, like 10 or 20 pips. However, US 30 is bullish, is majorly bullish. So they can close above, reject. So if this particular candle we are trading right now closes above this trend line, and then the next candle retests the trend line and closes above that point, I would say yes, buy US 30. But right now we literally have to wait for this candle to close. And you can see it's coming in with a lot of bullish momentum. This is just patience. And you can see even on the hourly, we are above the 9 EMA on the hourly. Okay, and you can see we closed with a gap, or we opened with a gap. We need this candle to, and for you guys who trade signals, I know I still have the account that's taking signals, so my account is literally taking all of those entries. So we need this candle to retest the trend line and close above the trend line. We always want the candle to close. Now, if you do decide to hop in early, just make sure you're using proper risk management. We do not have a trend line to the downside, but right here, I do see a hanging trend line that's moving from possibly here to here. Let's see what we'll do here. Let's go to US 30. I'm just preparing my trade copy here. And always use proper risk management for this. Okay, so that's what we want. We want that candle to come back down. Not sure why this is not taking. Oh, okay, I know. All right, so if you do decide to enter early, always use proper risk management. So we are waiting for this retest of the trend line and closure above. For this trade, let me see what where 100 pips stop loss would be. So keep in mind, we don't want to get faked out. Right now, the candles are not moving with heavy volume. So let's see where a 50 pip stop loss would take us. Okay, so a 50 pip stop loss would be below this trend line, and a 50 pip take profit would be around there. Yeah, so just risk the risk you should use risk 0.5% for this trade as well. Let me see if EU. So I think EU, if you're still in, it hit stop loss for that. Oh, no, it's still running. So keep in mind, if you traded FOMC and were down 0.25%, and if you entered, so this trade, the EU trade, I said enter with a 0.5 risk. So keep in mind, just weigh your risk, right? So ideally, if you didn't exit this at break even when it came back down, and then you're still in the position and you traded also CPI in the morning, you'd be down 0.75. So if you're going to take this US 30 sell, just make sure to not overall be down 0.5, 0.1, no, 1.5 for the day. So for this trade, also do like a 0.5 risk. Okay, we have 1 minute left, and the candle does not have a lot of volume, so that's good.
You're using 50 pip stop loss?
The only thing with the 50 pip stop loss is that the 50 pip stop loss is within this hanging trend line. Yeah, but ideally, so that the TP can hit quicker, 50 pip stop loss would be ideal for this trade. 1 minute left. If you want to hop in, if you hopped in earlier, good for you. For me, still not in this particular trade. And keep in mind, we're getting into a supply zone in here. So again, if you're not comfortable taking these trades today, and you're already down like 0.5%, it's better to wait for tomorrow. But if you're willing to get in, you can enter. So there you go, 16 seconds. Yeah, the only thing with this stop loss, if you can, make sure your stop loss is below this trend line. I don't like this stop loss that's within the trend line, because price can come back down, retest the trend line and fake you out and then go back in. But that's the trade right there for the buy. I think so. If you got in because it was at the open of that candle, it should be up 16 pips. Yeah, so use 50 pips TP. So for this one, I'm marking up 50 pips take profit, 50 pips stop loss. Ideally, I would like this stop loss to be below this trend line as opposed to inside it. Yeah, but ideally that's up to you guys to manage the risk you're using. But that's the current trade for US 30. I'm looking for this other trade. There you go with the perfect retest of that. Let's see. Let's see. So we want this candle to close above that trend line. So it came down, retested the 9 EMA. But for this rate, ideally stop loss, I'm not really comfortable with the stop loss within these two trend lines. I would like the stop loss to be far below it. But that's the trade that's marked up for 50 pips TP, 50 pips stop loss. So we had closure above, but it opened with a little gap to the downside, opened below. All right. So yeah, this is what I was talking about. The stop loss being within this trend isn't the best because you can just get faked out and price just reverses to the upside. Yeah, and I just got taken out for that trade. Yeah, so honestly, at this point, since collectively those are three back to back, what was it FOMC? I think EU is still running. Yeah, but I still do expect them to come to the 34,000 area. To me, that's the ideally where the sell, a better sell makes sense. But for now, I do see a lot of ranging. So that is minus 0.5 for that one, minus 2.5 for the US 30 early in the morning. And so this EU is still running, came back to, started in drawdown, came back to break even, went back up in drawdown, and it looks like it's coming back down. But yeah, I don't feel comfortable calling any other trades. I know it's coming back to the area we had talked about, but yeah, at this point, it looks like the market is just moving sideways. So I'm not really trying to get faked out anymore. So that's a minus 0.5 for that. I'll just go ahead and update this. So for the day, if you took it with all the risks that I talked about, you should only be down minus 0.75 for the day. Yeah, so at this point, it's better to save your leverage for the rest of the week. Yeah. Does anybody have any questions regarding this? I think this might be the first losing day we've had in a while. I know before we've had, even though we've lost, we've been able to come back. But anyway, we're not going to win every day, so that's expected. Does anybody have any questions regarding any of these trades?
No, it's okay. Thank you, bro.
Okay, yeah, so just to recap, the reason I called this buy was because US 30 was heavily bullish. It was above the 200 EMA, above the 9 EMA. The thing that wasn't good for this trade is that we are coming into a supply zone. However, we do have this supply zone within a supply zone. I mean, it also correlates to a psychological number, 34,000. So I did say price, the nearest psychological number was either 33,500 or 34,000 around this zone. So this zone was closer than 33,500. But you can see we did have this supply zone. Initially, I know we were waiting for a sell around 33,800. But to me, at that point, the buy made sense. Also, we had just had a golden cross. Yes, so that's the only trade. EU should be coming back down. So if you're still in the EU trade and it comes back to break even and you just want to be done for the day, you can close it at break even so that you're only down like 0.75 for the day. Because if EU does hit stop loss, then we'll be down 1.25% for the day. So keep in mind, if I hit about 3 back-to-back losses in the day, I'm done for the day. Yeah, so this is one of those days where you just have to, if you've taken the loss, and so long as you don't over leverage, you should be fine. Now, if you over leverage, that's where things can go wrong. Any other person has any question? I'll go ahead and post all these trades in the live session. I'm sorry, in the group. And I think I also have to upload all these 3 live sessions we've had today in the YouTube channel. So I'll go ahead and upload all those losses we took, and also upload the videos we took to YouTube. But anyway, the days after news should be better. I'm not sure tomorrow we'll have a trading day. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so I think the next live session will be on Friday because tomorrow I'll be doing some other things when we are supposed to be doing the live session. Yeah, so tomorrow we won't have any live session, but go ahead and use these signals based on our confluences. Once you get a signal, just use proper risk management. Wait for confluences. The only confluence you're waiting for any of these signals is retest of the 9 EMA. So you don't have to worry whether price is going to close above or below. So ideally, if you are to trade like the AI and take each and every one of these signals based on our confluences, you'd actually have a better win than the AI. So yeah, use this signals to supplement your trades. I did tell you guys that I'm already up just with the signals on some live accounts. So even though I lost on the live session manual trades, I'm still up based on taking the AI signals. Does anybody have any last question, whether it's the signals or whether it's any of the trades we took today? No? Okay, that's fine. I'll see you guys on Friday. Have a good day. Trade safe, do not over leverage. If you're down for the day, you're not gonna win every day. Yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. Bye.